Well, today's technology allows them to do pretty much everything at home. But when it comes to mastering, you have to rely on some established person who knows what they're doing, because all these digital workstations have certain programs where you can pre-master the program, but it doesn't mean that it's actually mastered the way you want to be. You want to deliver it to a record company or present it to the public. Again, that's where experience comes in. One little button, Pro Tools or Finalizer, won't do actual mastering, even though it's called pre-mastering or finalizing. So you really have to know what you're doing, and you have to know the limit, how far you can go with your EQs or compression. And that's, again, where the mastering experience comes in, because I know what the final outcome will be once it goes to pressing, to actual CDs, commercial CDs. And we know the limit. We know what can be played outside. I mean, at home you can make it even louder than possibly you could play it at home on your home system. So there's a limit to what you can do with the level, with the EQ, with the compression. And all these things you can learn only on the job. There's no school for that or anything. I mean, I learned when I started. I was very inexperienced. I was into music. I play violin and piano. I studied classical music and also electrical engineering. So I had two basic skills which are good for recording, but I had no clue about mastering, no clue about mixing or anything. I pretty much learned on the job. Each year I got more and more knowledge. You know, when I started to work with classical records. CBS was very heavy into classical music. When I started in 1969, they had a huge catalog, plus they were recording Broadway shows, so I was cutting actual classical albums. Then we did lots of jazz. Miles Davis, he was on CBS Records. Dexter Gordon, Woody Shaw. So each time I started to do certain projects, I learned a little bit more. I learned about the sound, what they're looking for, how they want to actual vinyl to sound like. And it progressed. This is 2005, and I'm still doing the same thing, but it's a little bit more sophisticated, and I think it's all even easier now because of digital EQs and digital workstation. You can always undo something if you don't like it. In 1970s, if I made a tape and the client didn't like it, I had to start from scratch again. Record a whole new tape, 15 IPS quarter-inch tape or a half-inch tape, do new edits, razor blading. I don't use razor blade now, except Michael's cigars.